A growing number of MPs have demanded that Parliament be recalled from summer recess with riots sweeping across swathes of Britain. Former Home Secretary Dame Priti Patel has called it a moral obligation for Parliament to be recalled from its summer recess, alongside MPs from other parties. Meanwhile, ex-Prime Minister Liz Truss says Sir Keir Starmer should hold daily Cobra meetings to get a handle on the riots breaking out across swathes of Britain. She also addressed illegal immigration during the All Talk with Ian Dale fringe event, accusing the UK government of sending the wrong message by scrapping the Rwanda scheme. Speaking during the event, which was hosted by LBC presenter Matthew Stadlen, she said, "I completely condemn the appalling violence and I am shocked to see what we are seeing happening on the streets of Britain." It came after Met Police boss Sir Mark Rowley grabbed a reporter's microphone and threw it on the ground when he stormed out of an emergency meeting over Britain's riot crisis. The fuming Scotland Yard chief appeared to lose his temper while exiting the Cabinet Office in Westminster towards a waiting car when he was grilled by a journalist on whether he would end two-tier policing. This refers to when right-wing demonstrations are considered to be dealt with more harshly than left-wing ones. The bizarre incident was captured by waiting cameras following Sir Keir Starmer's Cobra meeting today with ministers and other police chiefs. A spokesman for the Met Police said, "The Commissioner had a positive and constructive meeting with the Prime Minister and partners across government and policing. He was in a hurry to return to New Scotland Yard to take action on the agreed next steps." Ministers and police bosses are under pressure to tackle violence and far-right thuggery across Britain, which has broken out in response to the stabbings in Southport last Monday. The Prime Minister has been slow off the mark to tackle violent riots sweeping across Britain, the Tories have warned. The Prime Minister held an emergency response Cobra meeting at number 10 this morning, days after thousands of far-right thugs began storming the nation's streets causing mass destruction. Sir Keir pledged a standing army of specialist police officers to tackle what he has condemned as far-right thuggery. "This is made up of officers ready to be deployed to support communities," he said. Politicians from several parties called for Parliament to be recalled from its summer break, while even Labour's own MPs have admitted we don't know what ministers are doing to tackle the rioting. This is Sir Keir's first major test as leader of the UK just a month after getting the keys to number 10 Downing Street in a landslide general election victory. Matt Vickers MP, Shadow Police and Crime Minister, said, "Labour so far has been slow off the mark. It took days for Keir Starmer to call a Cobra meeting. We're just weeks into a Labour government and already we are starting to see that Starmer may not have the mettle to face up to the challenges that come with governing. He has dithered and delayed, leaving vital questions hanging in the air. Why did Cobra not meet last week when these mobs first hit the streets, and why did he not make sure our police forces had the support they needed straight away?" Shadow Home Secretary James Cleverly said the government should have been quicker in its response to the criminality which has so far seen 400 people arrested. The Tory leadership hopeful said he would have called a Cobra meeting much earlier and said the government should be more agile, more decisive. The meeting, which brought together ministers and police chiefs, was held at the Cabinet Office in Westminster after a sixth day of disorder on Sunday saw rioters clash with police and storm hotels housing asylum seekers.